you, Mr. DJ. All right. Well, you know, lately, with my urge to really become convicted, starting to really involve myself with Gawad Kalinga, especially with this GK walk coming up, I decided to finally think about why I'm so involved, like why I decided to involve myself with GK, why I decided to spend all my free time outside of work at 22 years old, spending all my time, or almost all my time out of work for GK. And you know, I graduated college fairly early. I graduated 19 with a bachelor's degree. I paid a lot for it, but I mean, you know, I graduated in time. I mean, when I was 19. After a really, I guess, degrading internship where I had to scrub toilets and wash windows, I found a job opening that allowed me to work for the school system for a fairly decent amount of money, a little bit under, I'll share it with you, a little under 30,000. And you know, it wasn't what I wanted in life. So all this time I'm working as a technician, I wanted more because my parents, in lieu of Mother's Day, my mother especially, really wanted me to have that wholesome American education. And I wasn't really doing anything with my degree, and so I wanted more out of life. You know, at this point in time, I used to be with the Youth for Christ, and then I decided to let it go because, okay, now it's time to focus on my life. That's how I felt. It's time to focus on my life and how I'm going to make my money now. And so I went out, I was working as a tech, and then I found something. I found something that I thought was golden. It was a network marketing company where I had the chance to network with everybody so I can make tons of money quick. How many of you guys ever heard about network marketing? Yeah? Yeah, everyone. And I was excited. Oh my, I was 21 years old, and I said, oh man, I found it. After 2 years working as a tech, I found my solution to get out of all my financial burdens, right, that I put myself into. And I did it, and I put my whole heart and soul into this network marketing company. And I was out there, I was grinding, and I was having meetings left and right with people, and all because I wanted to get out of my $30,000 job because I wanted to make the $30,000 a month that some people in South Florida were doing. I wanted that. I wanted that so bad. I wanted to drive my BMW M6, and you know, or my Lexus LS 460 with all the special features. You know, I had all these dreams and aspirations, and there was a brother who I guess decided to talk to me one day, have a one-on-one with me, and something he said over a course of time, after several occasions, we started to get deeper into our faith, right? And I guess it was his way of sort of bringing me back to Christ. But there was something that really stuck out to me that I'm going to read to you right now. It's Mark 1, verses 17 through 18. And Jesus said to them, "Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men." And then once they left their nets and followed him. Left their nets and followed him. And I was here every day having these meetings. No one was, after a period, you know, no one was signing up into my organization. I had a team of over 250 representatives all over South Florida. And I kept thinking about this. The fishermen left their nets and they followed him. And that really burdened my heart. And it disturbed me so much. Throughout the next few months that I was still in the organization, in the network marketing company, it was still in my heart. And then it reminded me of a trip I took in the Philippines before I joined the network marketing company, or during when I joined the network marketing company. So I took a trip to the Philippines, and I saw the poverty, and I saw all this, and I didn't go to a GK village, but I saw the poverty. It was there, and it really. When I thought of my desires of becoming rich, it really wasn't important anymore, you know, because of my intention was to make as much money as I could, then donate, right? And then I can give whatever I wanted to help the world, to save the world. That was my intention after the last few months. But I realized that it couldn't exist because I couldn't do it because I still wanted to have my LS460 Lexus, and I still wanted all these material things, and also give all my extra. But I knew that I couldn't do it. Why? Because like that reading, they left their nets and at once they followed their nets. They left their nets and they followed him. And that stuck with me all the way through, till eventually I said, okay, every Saturday, our company used to have a meeting every single Saturday morning. So I missed all the general assemblies that I could have made because I wanted to make my money, of course. And I went to Atachan invited me to go help out, set up on Saturday for this GK walk last year, and it's been a year. Anyways, and I decided to, okay, you know what? Today I'll drop my net. Today I'll just drop it for a little bit, a few hours. And when I did, I think that was the best thing that ever happened to me that day. When I decided to not show up to my network marketing meeting, and I decided to go to this GK walk, and then I learned more about the nobility of this organization. And that's really when I said, you know what, God's calling me now. And through this, after a few months later, I realized that a lot of the concepts in GK, like heroic sacrifice and sharing and caring, these are all things that I wanted. Because one thing also with that Bible verse that I read is also one thing that stuck with me is that this brother told me that I had a big heart. I had a big heart. And you know what? I did have a big heart because every time I was at that network marketing meeting, I always wanted to do my best to help out the organization. I would always do their sound for them. I'd always make their tickets for their events. You know, I wanted to do what I could. And I realized I can take all that energy and put it to helping the poor. Because those are the people who need it the most. And at 22 years old, when I could be making thousands and thousands upon thousands of dollars, I decided that since God called me and told me, Jeremy, it's time for you to do something that you would have never thought you'd be doing right now. And I just went and did it. And I dropped it. I dropped my dreams of having a Lexus to the point where I was already novel calculating, and my best friend knew that I really wanted a Lexus from back in the day. So when he bought his BMW M3, he said, Jeremy, here, I'll give you my Lexus GS350, which is a downgrade, but it's still a nice car. Okay, he gave it to me. He gave it to me. I had it for a week. But then still something in my heart burning me. And I said, you know what? I'm representing an organization that is so noble and is about helping the poor and giving and really putting your heart into it. I can't drive a Lexus GS350 and go to these people and say, hey, let's help the poor. It didn't feel right. So I gave back the Lexus.
Amen.
And now I'm just like driving a 95 Honda Passport, but it's okay. It's still running. And I just realized that I couldn't have done this without God's message, God's grace, and God's love touching my heart. Through this community, through the brothers that I had in this community. Through the brothers, when I was going through lots of pain and lots of struggle, even though they saw happiness in me, like sort of like a mask, right, of happiness, of my pursuit of making money, they knew something was still wrong. And I'm so thankful for this community of brothers that was able to find that in me and work with me, that their prayers were answered and my prayer was answered, that I am now a member of SFC. I'm back in the community. I'm able to serve GK with all my heart, and this community of SFC with all my heart. Yes, so praise God.